Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be reviewing a fragrance that is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful and awe-inspiring fragrances ever created. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me, but this fragrance is one of them that every time I smell it, I am blown away by its perfection. And it is Lipstick Rose from Frederic Malle. If you'd like to know why I think this is such an incredible fragrance, then keep watching. Now, this fragrance was created by prolific nose Ralph Schweiger, and this fragrance was not sent to me to review. This is a fragrance that I've had, I love, it's amazing, but in no way, shape, or form was given to me to review. I forget if I purchased it at a discount, I forget if I got it in a swap, I forget how I came across it. I did not spend full price on it. I think I got it from like Depop or Tradesy or something, and I would happily pay full price for this scent. I don't remember where exactly how I got my hands on this fragrance, but it was not just bought full price. Full price for 100 ml, you're looking at spending about $290. It is a pricey luxury fragrance. Frederic Malle is a pricey luxury brand, but I've been blown away by their library, and just Lipstick Rose is one of those fragrances that just astounded me. I would have happily and easily paid full price for this scent. I had a few decants of it I used through, and I just was in a place to purchase a bottle at a discount. I think I spent like $250 on it, and just a little bit of a discount, but it is an amazing fragrance that I love. But enough just chattering about that scent. Why? What makes me love this scent? Well, first, if you guys are familiar with my channel, you know that I love powdery fragrances, I love old glamorous fragrances, I love rose, I love violet. I love it when there's a lot of different notes that come together and they create like a symphony of smell, where you can, like an instrument or a concert, so to speak, you can pick up the flute, you can pick up the cello, you can pick up the piccolo, you can pick up the percussion, but it all comes together to create one beautiful symphony of scent. And there are very few fragrances, in my opinion, that do that effortlessly and perfectly. It's not that they haven't achieved something that's beautiful and wearable that I love, but there's an effortlessly easiness to Lipstick Rose while it's still being ethereal, billowy, wearable, and just a beautiful blend of powder and sophistication and glamour and a bit of a jammy rose in there, just a touch. Now, aside from the iris and the rose, I would say the most important notes in this fragrance are the violet, the raspberry, and the musks. Now, I've talked before about jammy roses. It is a way I love to smell, but jammy roses can be overpowering sometimes. And in a lot of cases, whenever you see fragrances that utilize jammy rose and they're working with the jam, you see patchouli, you see sandalwood, you see oud, they kind of amp up this like heavy, very present scent. And as much as that's amazing, sometimes you want something billowy, pillowy, light, and ethereal. What I like is the violet and the raspberry are kind of perfect. The raspberry in this is fruity, but it's kind of tart. It's not so sweet. And the violet and the iris come together to create this like really powdery, beautifully aromatic floral fragrance that pairs nicely and tames this jammy rose. And the musks just kind of lighten it up and make it bright and poofy and ethereal, but it just has this kind of beautiful kind of iris, like, and you know the smell, like really high quality, very expensive lipstick that you buy from like Saks or Neiman Marcus, where it costs as much as a car, and it's like overtly fragranced and it smells amazing, but it's a little bit too much for your lips, but you kind of want to rub it all over your body because it just smells so good. Maybe I'm the only one. In any case, it has that very distinctive, expensive cosmetic scent to it, and a lot of people really love that, and a lot of people don't. Sometimes it can pull a little stale. This doesn't pull stale at all. It actually, the raspberry, that tartness, the violet with the powder, and this beautiful musk tames this idea, this way that these types of compositions can smell, and makes it like a light, fresh, but still really beautiful, powdery, floral scent. And I just think everything is chosen so expertly and is blended so meticulously to come together to create, in my opinion, one of the most ultimate fragrances that's just a beautiful ode and tribute to powder. This fragrance was designed to smell like expensive lipstick. And I think that that inspiration is perfectly mimicked into a beautiful, glamorous, and elegant fragrance that if you love the idea of these like powdery, rich, cosmetic-y smelling smells, then this is the ultimate perfume. Because it has this beautiful rose and this gorgeous violet and this like effervescent and ethereal musk that works to contrast against the iris but works with the iris. So it elevates the iris's positivity and all the positive aspects, positivity is not the right word, all the positive aspects and all the powder that people love, while taming aspects of that note and these types of fragrances that people have issues with. It's not a challenging fragrance. It's not a challenging powder. It's not something that you have to worry about wearing around certain people. It's a very safe fragrance to wear, while being at the same time just really beautiful. I could talk forever about Lipstick Rose, but I don't want to talk to you about it just as these are the notes, this is the longevity. It comes together to create a composition that I love, and that's where I see the perfection. The perfection in this is its concept, being a fragrance that's basically supposed to be an inspiration of a glamorous woman applying a glamorous lipstick. What does her boudoir smell like? I know I said that wrong. What does her bedroom smell like? What does her vanity smell like? What does she smell like? What do her cosmetic smells like? In this moment, what does her environment and her experience smell like? You guys know I love it when fragrances, noses, and houses take amazing concepts and translate them into wearable beauty. So I think 10 out of 10, the concept of this elegant, glamorous woman applying lipstick in that moment, what does it smell like? I think it captures it amazingly. As somebody who's worked in the beauty industry and knows what very expensive lipsticks can smell like, this smells like it in a way that is positive, and I want to wear it all over my body. When it comes down to how it is blended, the composition, I think it's very smart. This fragrance isn't overtly laden with unnecessary notes. Everything is chosen meticulously. This needs to work with this needs to balance this, and this needs to elevate this to create something that is wearable and not challenging, but still smells unique and special. And you have this idea of this powdery note that can go super stale, super aromatic and challenging, especially paired with like musks and violet. You can get that violet candy vibe, which I love, but this is lipstick rose. How is this composition going to pair with this idea of this jammy rose that could easily overpower the delicacy of this right here? And it just effortlessly comes together. The raspberry note, the specific note that they use to get raspberry, it's not just raspberry, it's a tart raspberry. And that works with the iris and also works against the iris, works with the rose, but kind of adds a little bit of acidity to the rose so it doesn't get too cloying, too heavy, too overpowering. And it all just comes together to create something beautiful. There's grapefruit in the opening. Again, a perfect choice. It kind of gives a little bit of this aldehydic opening, just this burst of freshness and brightness in the opening that again just kind of helps soften everything else, and works with the rose and works with the iris and works with the beautiful musk at the base. It all comes together to create something beautiful and special, but also smells effortless and perfect. Now, not everybody likes these compositions, but for me, I love these compositions. And that's another reason why this fragrance just smells. Just forget about the concept of it, which I love. The smell of it is amazing. So I obviously love that too. Performance for this fragrance, at least on my skin, is pretty good. get about 6 to 8 hours on my skin. It starts off very fruity and floral in the opening, again with that burst of brightness from the grapefruit, and then it softens into this powdery, beautiful rose, and it's more linear the last few hours of lifespan on my skin. There we go. When it comes down to performance, this does have a bit of a protection and sillage, at least when I apply it. Do understand I am an oversprayer. There are some fragrances I can't overspray and some fragrances that I do overspray. So I do tend to lay this one on thick. I do love it. So part of its pretty good projection and lingering trail probably comes to the sheer amount of this I wear. But I will say one thing about this scent. I always like to let you guys know my opinions on if it's professionally appropriate. With powdery scents, with floral scents, musky scents, sometimes those can be very sensitive to people's noses. But I actually have found that even though this one has a lot of, like, on paper, it might sound like something that wouldn't be work appropriate, I don't find it to be as oppressive as maybe another kind of iris dominant scent or a jammy rose that's really thick, or a heavy musk laden floral. It tends to sit really delicately on the skin, even though it does have decent projection. And I find that it's really beautiful, light, billowy, and again, ethereal. I've been saying the same words, but those are the best words to describe this fragrance, while still being a little bit fruity and floral in the background. So I would say, within reason, if you don't work next to somebody within social distancing distances, I think that this could actually be a great professional fragrance too. I think it's beautiful, I think it's perfect, and I love it. And that is my review of Lipstick Rose from Frederic Malle. I would love to know what you guys think of this scent. I am quite literally singing its praises, but not everyone's going to agree with me. So if you like this fragrance, if you like it but you don't agree with my high praise, or if you hate this fragrance, let me know in the comment section below. I'm also always on the hunt for a really good powder fragrance. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!